Good morning, everyone. I hope you're having a great week. Just wanted to send you a quick video. It's going to be a little longer than most broker minutes because we are going to go through the changes that all of you have heard about. We've gotten a lot of emails from the local association, the state association of the change that came about this week with the buyer agency agreement. So where the change is not really a big change logistically, it is a big change on how you explain this to your clients and also creates a better opportunity for you to protect yourself as it relates to the compensation on the buyer agency agreement. So let's go ahead and jump right into it and talk about what is different about the buyer agency agreement. So this comes from the brokerage fee section. The old agreement used to, under section A here, used to have two options for how the brokerage fee was collected. We've now combined that into one. So basically what this is saying is that the buyer shall pay the brokerage fee of X percent. At this point, you'd put in a dollar amount or a percentage. As always, I'm as a broker and Keller Williams as an entity is not really here to tell you how to run your business as far as what you want to charge, anything additional to what could be considered market rate. However, I would say in this that you do want to have a minimum of 2.5%. This protects you. This protects your commission, your value, and everything in there. So again, none of this so far has changed from the last contract. It's just the only option that we have now under a brokerage fee. So we're going to use the example of 2.5%. This is saying that the buyer will pay that 2.5% of the purchase price of any of the property purchased or leased by the buyer, including for sale by owners. It then goes on to say, as it always did before, that any fees paid by the seller or the seller's agent shall be credited to this 2.5% fee. It then also says, like it did before, that we shall use our best efforts to obtain the payment of the brokerage fee out of the transaction. And that the buyer shall have the obligation to pay the broker the brokerage fee set forth in this contract if the broker cannot obtain the payment of such fee out of the transaction. Okay, so what the heck does that mean? So basically what this is saying is exactly what it did before. This is saying that, hey, I'm going to put a minimum in here that I want to be paid out of this transaction. In this case, it was 2.5%. I would highly encourage to get to 3 if you can. However, that's up to you and your business. And then in the event I can't get 2.5%, that you as the buyer may be held responsible for the difference. Again, whether or not you're going to hold them to that is up to you and your business. Let's jump back into how that works logistically. So we're going to go back to this, and this is where the new part of this comes in. So in the event that the compensation being offered to the broker, the transaction is greater than the above amount. So in the event, let's just say you go in, they purchase a property that's offering 3%, you had 2.5% in here, then the buyer agrees that the greater amount shall become the new amended brokerage fee, right? So basically what that is saying is that if you put 2.5% in here, the listing is offering 3%, then that becomes the new fee that you will be paid. So you'll get paid the additional part. You don't have to make any modifications to your buyer agency agreement. You do, however, have to notify and disclose any changes to the brokerage fee above, including any all bonuses. So in the event you had 2.5% in there, and let's say you go and you get 3%, or you go to a new build and they're offering a 3% plus a bonus on there, that becomes the new fee that you get. You just have to disclose to the buyer that that's happening. So what happens after that, though, and this is the question that happens, is in the event, and this is really spelled out in here, in the event that the buyer, let's say you have 2.5% in here, and then for whatever reason you agree that you'll accept 2%, or they're only offering 2% out. At that point, you would then have to adjust this contract if you're not going to have your buyer pay the difference. Okay, so again, we'll walk through that. You have 2.5% on here. Let's say you're only getting 2%. If you're not then going to go to your buyer and say, hey, I want the 0.5% difference, then you would just have to modify this agreement to change it from 2.5% to 2%. So let's go quick summary here at the end. Bottom line is you're going to be putting a minimum amount that you expect to get paid as the buyer agents out of this, that the buyer is going to be responsible for. You are then going to do everything you can to get that full amount from the transaction, and in the event you don't get it, that the buyer could be held responsible, you can then have the agreement with the buyer whether or not you decide to do so. In the event you make more than what you put in here, you don't have to modify this agreement at all. You simply that becomes the amended amount, and you just put the buyer on notice. In the event you're going to take less, you would then have to take this here. So you'd have to change this percentage here in order for your buyer to not be responsible. So that's it in a nutshell. We'll talk more about it, but this is kind of your quick summary of it. I know this is a little bit of a longer video. So if you have any questions, as always, don't hesitate to reach out. Have a great Wednesday. Happy selling. Enjoy being in business with you. Take care.